offense, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants at the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big play there on the catch and run. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now a throw here, hauled in. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Open space inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Back to Kamara for another catch. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Winston to throw for it. Complete at the 1. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and he'll come up empty on the try for 2. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson being chased out left. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Callaway, the return man. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half. Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A run for Kamara on first down, but the running room closes up quickly as he's only able to get a yard there. 2nd and 9. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out. Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Well, we're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Jackson now, sliding out of the pocket. And this one is incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Here's Jackson to throw. Out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got him on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead. This is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver Brown. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Touchdown! Sammy Watkins, 28 yards, and the Ravens continue to pour it on. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. Got that fumble recovery last time when it looked like they might give up points. It actually ended up yielding points for them on the offensive end.
It's a pretty good swing, isn't it? Maybe you're going to give up a touchdown. Instead, you score a touchdown. Great swing, great momentum changer for your team.
And they'll be looking to build off that momentum on this drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 79 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On the ground, Kamara. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Winston. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Now Winston on 4th down. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Quick slant to Brown. And some room to roam now. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play there on the catch and run.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that is going to do it. For this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. They'll turn to Kamara. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for two fails. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And not a very good return at all as he won't even get this back to the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport. Line of scrimmage back at their own 3 now as they come up second and long.
Check 13. Check 13.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
177 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Finding room to the 20. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Kamara. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
That's complete to Troutman right side.
Touchdown, Saints! Adam Troutman from 3 yards out. And the Saints able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No, I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
2nd and 10.
Winston. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And he's got some space here. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
236 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense.
Going quickly here to Thomas. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Here we go with Kamara. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for Baltimore. Boy, another big play late here for offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Saints come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
A big offensive explosion leading them to victory. And the defensive guys are saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They were grateful.